Let me ask you something. Have you ever spent hours, maybe even days, on a video, you hit that publish button feeling great, and then you just watch in horror as the view count is stuck at 0? It's not a glitch. And no, the algorithm doesn't have a personal grudge against you. What's happened is you've been caught in something called the multi-layer review trap. So let's get into it and figure out exactly how to get your videos past these gatekeepers. There is nothing more crushing for a creator than seeing this number. Seriously, you put all this work in, and your analytics page is just mocking you with this big fat 0. It feels like you're just shouting into an empty room. But what if I told you this isn't random at all? It's actually part of the plan. So why are your views actually frozen? It's because the second you hit upload, your video is sent on a journey to be judged by these automated AI gatekeepers before a single human being ever gets a chance to see it. This system is called the multi-layer review. You can think of it as an AI-powered quality control system. It's not personal, it's just procedural. And if your video doesn't pass its very specific inspection, well, your views are put on ice, sometimes indefinitely. The key then is to understand how these AI gatekeepers actually think. Okay, so let's pull back the curtain on this whole process. It helps to think of it as having 3 main judges, or as I like to call them, gatekeepers, that your video absolutely must get past. Each one is looking at a completely different part of your content, what you can hear, what you're actually saying, and what's on the screen. So here's how the journey works. First, your video's audio track gets a full scan. Then, every single word you speak is turned into text and analyzed. And finally, every visual element, including any text you've put on the screen, gets scanned. You've got to pass all 3 of these checks to get your video out into the world. All right, the very first test is all about what the AI hears. It's a process called audio fingerprinting. The system literally listens to your background music, your sound effects, every little thing, and it cross-references it with a massive database of millions of copyrighted sounds. And this is where you can really see the difference between a beginner and a noob might just grab a trending song they found online. Now, even if they don't get a full-blown copyright strike, the AI flags that video as low value for using unauthorized audio, and that starts to lower your channel's trust score. A pro creator knows this game and to safe, licensed sources like the YouTube audio library. So let's say your audio gets the green light. Great, but we're not out of the woods yet. Now we move on to the second gatekeeper, the speech-to-text layer. The AI isn't just listening to the music anymore. Now it's listening to you. It creates a full transcript of everything you say. Then it starts hunting for red flags. So what kind of stuff triggers this AI? Well, it's looking for some very specific high-risk signals. Things like talking about unproven medical cures, making those get-rich-quick promises that sound a little scammy, or using really aggressive or controversial language. If you do that, the AI immediately shoves your video into a safety zone. This freezes its reach until a human can review it, which can take days and just kills all of your initial momentum. All right, let's do a quick pop quiz. Out of these 3 words, which one do you think is the biggest red flag for the AI? Is it A, money, B, secret, or C, miracle? If you guessed C, miracle, you are spot on. Using a word like miracle, especially in a health or finance video, is a massive trigger for the review system. It's a surefire way to get your views frozen. And that brings us to the final gatekeeper. You see, the AI doesn't just listen, it also reads. It uses a technology called optical character recognition, or OCR, to scan every single piece of text that's visible in your video. We're talking titles, descriptions, and yeah, even the words you put right on the screen. And this is why you see so many experienced creators using symbols, like replacing a vowel with a star when they're talking about sensitive topics. They are actively trying to sidestep this OCR scan. If your on-screen text or even your thumbnails violate community policies, this thing called the review shield activates and just blocks all traffic to your video. Okay, so we've laid out the problem and it sounds kind of daunting, right? So how do you solve it? Well, the key to all of this lies in understanding a hidden metric that the algorithm keeps on your channel. It's your creator trust score. And it's basically the algorithm's memory of everything you've ever done. Honestly, this is the best way to think about it. It's just like a credit score, but for creators. It's not about one video, it's built up over a long time. Every single clean video you upload helps build that score. And every time you get flagged, well, it takes a hit. And that score has very real consequences. Just look at this. If your channel has a low trust score, you're getting a red signal. That means every new video you post goes through a strict, slow review, which leads to that view freeze. But if you've earned a high trust score, you get the green signal. Your videos are fast-tracked, they're auto-approved, and they get pushed into the feed almost right away. So the billion-dollar question is, how do we build up that trust and get a green signal every single time? The solution is a really simple, repeatable process I call the clean edit solution. Just think of it like your pre-flight checklist you run through before you hit publish. Let's break this down. It's 4 easy steps. First, pre-screen your script for those AI trigger words. Second, only use safe, licensed audio. We've covered that. Third, if you have to talk about sensitive topics, censor the on-screen text. And finally, and this one is a total game changer, publish your video as unlisted for at least an hour. This gives the AI plenty of time to finish its review before you go public. So when you do, the gates are already already wide open. When you start using this kind of workflow, you fundamentally change your relationship with the algorithm. You stop being a victim of its confusing rules, and you start becoming an authority, someone who actually understands how to work with the system, not against it, because that's all this is, really. The algorithm isn't some big, scary mystery. It's just a system of filters. Once you understand what those filters are looking for in your audio, in your speech, and in your visuals, you can design your content to sail right through them every single time. Look, you've spent way too much time on your video to let it get stuck in some review trap. By understanding these AI gatekeepers and actively building your trust score, you can finally beat the bots and make sure your videos get the launch and the reach they absolutely deserve.